Hi, I'm Sanjay. I'm the CTO of ChargEdge. I'll give you a quick demo here, what we are up to and some of the justification. This is to complement my recent web presentation, which a lot of people had some questions about. So first of all, I want to show you that our transmitter does several modes, and one of them is the dual Qi mode, which, by the way, Qi, as defined by the Wireless Spark Consortium, still can't achieve, in my opinion. Two phones right next to each other, both are Qi devices, standard Qi devices available on DigiKey. Both use, I think, the 9025 or something from IDT. And there are two communication lights which show you they are in communication, and there are two coils right next to each other. They don't interfere. That's a proprietary method. In Qi, typically, if you try to put two coils right next to each other, there's going to be crosstalk. And the transmitter won't know the signal of, give me more power or give me less power is coming from which coil. So it runs into trouble, and that is probably the reason why AirPower from Apple failed, because they had like 22 coils, and you really can't do backscatter with each coil and regulate power to 3 or 4 possible devices in that manner. So we don't do it that way. But we still managed to do two Qi devices, and some of the market AirPower lookalikes actually have their two co-packaged transmitters, and they put the coils very far apart, and they have the electronics in the middle. If you open any of them, nobody has managed to put the two coils right adjacent to each other. Now, this is of particular use in a car environment. For example, if you are trying to do a car environment and you want your passenger and driver to have two phones charged, and space is at a premium in a car, so you want the phones right next to each other. So we are the only ones who can do even that. Apple Watch requires, and all other wearables require, a big coil pressed against the backside. We don't need to do that. So you may be able to see this. I'm going to put it here, and communication was established, the blue light went on, and the charging icon has appeared here. So you may or may not be able to see it, but it's visible here. The charging icon is here. I can raise it a little bit towards the camera and it will become a little more visible, I guess. So the moment you put it, the charging icon starts. So we can do it without anything pressed against the back. We have this is a Qi device, and it's got a proprietary coil. So I told you, in many ways we can do Qi better than Qi. So Apple has a big, needs to press a big coil, and that area shed a lot of sensors. So it's almost a very difficult and unoptimum arrangement of parts. So this would be a much better alternative. These can be positioned on the side of a phone or at the bottom. So you can actually have a predominantly metal casing, unlike the Apple iPhone 8, just to create an environment where magnetic induction charging could take place. They had to make it out of glass, which has made it very flimsy. So they can go back to a predominantly metal casing, and they can put the coils here. And in fact, our coils can deliver 45-50 watts, slightly bigger than this. And the new graphene batteries, which are coming out in 2019, they charge 4 times faster. You may have seen on my web presentation, I made it clear that independent lab data shows that the iPhone 7, 8 and 10 and all the iPhones barely charge at 2.5 to 3.5 watts, despite the claims of 7.5 or maybe tomorrow 15 watts. And the reason is because they have a huge coil which presses against the battery, and the battery heats up. And battery life is very critical, by the way. I don't think that small, so the battery typically has a protection circuitry which dials back and tells the transmitter, hey, I'm getting too hot. So this is a foreign object detection. If I put a thing here, the light will turn on. There's no communication, obviously, but it knows that I have put something. If I remove this, the light will go off. So Qi standard doesn't know how to do this. I don't believe anybody knows how to do this. There's a little receiver coil here, long one. And if I put it here, watch what happens. It has detected something. There's no red light right now. It's doing a few proprietary sweeps, and then it'll come on with full power. It'll ramp it up slowly. So you can see that we have full control over the power. All right, and you can actually move this. So any direction will work. And actually, you can actually put, here's another load, they can share the power here. Yeah, so you can see it's giving a little warning. The buzzer is a little oversensitive to placement right now. Here we go. So, and if I remove this, see, both of them are going. So we can do multiple devices vertically, and the power is quite a lot. So if I put even this little coil which I showed you, and I put a halogen lamp, it'll charge up. So you are getting 4 to 5 watts roughly out of this. So there's no electronics, no gimmicks here. And it's a tiny coil which you can, it doesn't cost anything also. There are no special materials here. If I put a coin at this point, it's working, it can even detect a coin at this point. You heard that? And now it's switched off. So it knows to detect a coin without any communication, whether it's in operation, whether it's not. So for example, suppose it is in operation right now. Let me again bring it back. So it'll wait for chi, it'll eliminate chi, and then it'll go on to its ChargEdge mode. And during this time, it is working. There's no communication between this particular receiver, it's just LEDs. But if I put a coin, it's detecting the coin. So nobody knows how to do all these things. In my opinion, this is all extremely proprietary. I do want to show one more mode here before I wrap up. This is a high power mode. So to do a proprietary mode here, very high power. So this is, they say it's 150 watts, but I checked, it's about 75 watts if you get 12 volts across it. And this is the receiver, which just has a bridge rectifier and a tiny microcontroller. There's nothing much, and a tiny coil here. Okay, this can deliver easily 80 watts, so I'll show you what happens. And I'm turning on the multimeter. It's actually connected to this, to a node right here. So the multimeter is connected here, and it's going to go, and I'm going to turn it on, and I'll show you the voltage. So right now, the voltage is 0, okay? So I'm going to put this, and I'm going to let it, that's why I need some space here. So I'm going to put it here. This will be the proprietary mode. When it goes into that, the blue light will come on, but it won't be a steady blue light. It'll flicker, indicating communication. And now you can see the voltage is ramping up. The buzzer is a little oversensitive, so in this particular version, but anyway, it'll improve the concept. So watch it, it's going 10. It's a regulated voltage, and I'm showing you full control over the power. So it's going to go a little bit and then come back to about 12. .2, and that's a whole lot of light here, which you can see. Ouch. And it's a regulated voltage. Okay, so that was our proprietary CE-RX mode, we call it. It can do extremely high power, and just watch, after working so long, if I just touch this this coil, it's absolutely cold. I can hold it. It's not even warm. How do I do that? So that's our flux laser principle, by the way. Extremely unique method of doing it, and future-proof because we can meet EMI. The field is extremely strong, but localized in this area, so you're not going to have any problem with that. And now again, it's back to normal. If I put a coin, it will detect the coin, and it's lighting up, and it won't proceed to the next stage. So that kind of wraps up our demo. Thank you very much.